Hi, welcome back to the Nuance Diaries, where I say the things that highly sensitive people are often thinking but not saying, and try to make my vulnerability a mission slip for yours. One of these days, I've got to automate that intro so I don't say it every time because, when you're just saying words out loud and you feel like you're moving through molasses, that's how I felt just saying those sentences. I was like, word, next word, word. Um, I'm doing something that I've only ever done twice before by myself in this blog podcast, and I'm just chatting with you. I'm not reading or riffing on something I've written. I have been pretty dogged and committed about publishing every week again after taking a pretty long hiatus at the top of last year. And even in, these fabulous times we're living in here in America, I'm trying really, really hard to show up for myself and for you. And I thought all day today I was going to post. I'm in the middle of a bunch of different things that are almost there but not quite there. I don't want to rush. And I have a couple of things that I could publish that I'm just not quite ready to hit the emotional trigger on. Excuse me. And then I'm thinking about, okay, well, I could repost this or that because people do all that all the time. And there are so many of you who are newer to this community who have not read certain things yet or listened to things and things that still feel particularly relevant to me in this moment. So I'm sitting here thinking about all that. I'm making dinner. I'm having a glass of rosé. I'm unprocessing and unpacking a kind of challenging Friday, as Fridays often are when you babysit. And I just got some very unexpected and very, there's really not a word for it, challenging, upsetting, indescribable news about a family member. And, people often batch their blogs and podcasts and whatever, and maybe you're thinking, oh, she got this news a couple weeks ago. No, I got it today, February 6th, 2026. And I am not giving you details, but telling you that's the state I'm in. And I want to show up and I want to be here. And I want to continue letting my vulnerability be a permission slip for yours. And in this moment, my vulnerability is full of indescribable confusion, anger, rage. In the Gilmore Girls revival, Lorelai Gilmore talks about how when she got the news that her father was in the hospital, Edward Herman, who in real life also has passed, that actor, she was in the middle of using her phone as calculator, doing some business for her in. And her mother, Emily Gilmore, calls her and gives her she's frantic and they're heading to hospital. And she hangs up the phone. And the phone goes back to being calculator. And similarly, someone just called me to give me this news, but a family member of mine. And the minute I hung up the phone, 4chan Stan by Lily Allen started playing. I was listening to that when the phone rang. So I go from this devastating emotional news to 4chan Stan by Lily Allen, which is hilarious in its irony. I guess what I have put on here to say, and I am going to share something you'll see in the actual blog, a repost. I think I'm going to share a song called The Waves Are Calling. I think I want to say that it's not that we're living in these unimaginably hard times, because we have been through times like these and we'll be there again. On TikTok, I was just talking about, they have that phrase, what radicalized me? And what radicalized me, it was reading Meet Addie when I was 7 years old. This American Girl doll story of a Black American girl doll named Addie who was enslaved and literally ran away in the first book. And her father and brother were sold, and her little sister had to be left behind because they couldn't remember the baby. It was crazy. So this is not like we're not the first generation, this is not the first year, this is not the first or the last moment in the tapestry that is American history where we will go through unspeakably hard times. And yet, we have never gone through them, right? Like, up until the first Trump election, I kind of thought very naively at 22 years old, 21 actually, that the really hard times were behind us in history books, and that I was living in this arc of time that was just bending forward and forward and forward. And then I was in my post like modern British literature class the next day, and my teacher said the words out loud. Great authors survived dark times, and so shall we. And we were reading like The Freaking Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and I was like, what are you talking about? They survived hard times, so shall we. Like, how dark is this time gonna get? And that was 2016. So imagine my surprise when we are here now, a decade later. And if I could go back and tell that little 21-year-old girl something, tell her to hold on tight. And I guess what I want to say to you in your moment of, God, it's never been this hard. And 1 second. Ooh.